A Sunday to remember. Canby, a Portland classic. Stacey Lewis had gone 3+ years without a victory on the LPGA Tour until today. Pledging before the event to donate her entire winnings to hurricane relief. Lewis's one-shot win, her 12th career LPGA victory. Dell Technology Championship, second event of the FedEx Cup playoffs. The story was Justin Thomas, 8 under 63. Thomas shares the 54-hole lead with Mark Leishman heading into a Monday finish in Boston. Golf Central starts now.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
It is a feel-good Sunday here on Golf Central, a Sunday to remember for sure. In this month of September, some great stuff going on around the world. With that, we welcome you to Golf Central. Ryan Burr with 3 PGA Tour winners, Brandel Chambly, Notah Begay, and John Cook. And let's get to the top story. Stacey Lewis. Told you at the top of the show, it's been a long time since she tasted victory. Would this be the week?
Man, there was a lot of goodwill going in Stacey Lewis's favor this week, and she helped it out with putts like that.
It started with a 3-shot lead. Could she hold on? Here comes In-Gee Chun putting some pressure on from deep.
In-Gee Chun is just so consistent, finding greens and fairways. Just one of the most enviable golf swings and tempos in the game. And this was just a beautiful pitch shot. Not one of the longer players, so laying up and converting on that par 5.
And that birdie cuts the lead to 2. So here comes the pressure on Lewis. Been a long time since she was able to win.
15th hole, par 3, 158 yards for Stacey. Staring it right down, almost jarred.
That 2-putt par remains at 20 under. The lead stays at 2. You can see just how close it was to an incredible shot. Would have to settle for par. Playing for more than herself with Stacey Lewis. This is In-Gee Chun, same hole now for birdie.
Trying to cut into that lead, was up to 4 shots at one point, but after this putt, In-Gee Chun getting closer.
1 back, 2 holes to play. Lewis now at 17.
Just a little bump and run here, straightforward, or it would be any other day. The enormity of what she was doing. Those chip shots get quite a bit more difficult. This is a part of her game that has drifted off just a little bit. But you wouldn't have known it watching that stroke.
82 starts since her last victory. Now at the last, she finds the bunker off the tee.
And what a clutch shot right here with Chun already off the back of the green. Taking on this hole location from that right fairway bunker. Hits a beautiful shot in there about 30 feet behind the hole.
In-Gee chance to really put the pressure on Stacey.
Yeah, she needed this one to go. Just kind of hangs it out right. Not enough momentum to get all the way to the hole.
She would ultimately make that, so Lewis has 2 putts for the win.
And in your dreams, you have a tap in. Well, that's a little bit outside of a tap in.
Stacey Lewis has done it. The victory and $195,000 before this even started, before she hit a single shot. She said she would donate all of her winnings this week to Hurricane Harvey relief. And there it is. It's the winner's check, the most she could possibly donate to help the folks in Houston, where she now makes her home. And she's able to pull it off. What a story this turned out to be. It's been a long time, incredibly consistent, just unable to win. Look at the top 5s, 20, 33 top 10s. Incredible action. Stacey finally able to get that victory, going all that money to a great cause. After the win, spoke with Jerry Foltz.
In-Gee just played great, and I knew she would, and I knew it was going to be hard, and I was hitting a lot of good shots, hitting a lot of good putts, and they just weren't going in. And to make that up and down on 17, and then to hit that shot out of the bunker on 18, I mean, it's something you dream about.
You came here with a mission to make an impact, to donate all of your winnings to the hurricane relief efforts for Harvey. Unbeknownst to you, today, your title sponsor, KPMG, decided to match you dollar for dollar.
That's unbelievable. You know, when I said that, I had the goal of winning the tournament, and you got to get a lot of things right to go, to go your way. And just what we're going to be able to do. We're going to be able to help people rebuild houses and get their homes back, and that's more important than any win.
I know it's only golf. You're providing relief to those people who need it in Houston, but how much relief do you feel?
I'm glad I don't have to play another hole, I can tell you that. I'm excited, I'm excited to get kind of that monkey off my back, and just to know that, I can do it. I can hit the shots when I need to and hit the putts when I need to, and, it's nice to see yourself do that again.
Stacey's husband is the head golf coach at the University of Houston. They live in Houston, and to make that statement before the tournament even starts and then to close the deal when you haven't won in 3 years. If you submitted it for a movie, I'm not sure they would say it was believable. Incredible what she was able to pull off.
Yeah, Houston needs a little good news, and this is really great news. And the game of golf gives us every now and then stories where players are playing for a higher purpose than playing for themselves. We see it in Ryder Cups from time to time when players elevate their games and they're literally another person. We've seen it when players are playing with a heavy heart, like Ben Crenshaw at the Masters in 1995. But hard to remember an event that we all were more emotionally tied to than this one. We're supposed to be impartial, but it's fair to say none of us were pulling against NG Chun, but it's fair to say that there were not that many people impartially watching the outcome of this LPGA event.
Well, I was certainly inspired by her gesture, and just to quantify things, that's if you look at what she's made this year, it's over 20% of her earnings this year. So it's not just a small gesture of goodwill. This is something that's significant as far as she's concerned. And to have her sponsor, you got to give KPMG a lot of credit for a matching funds contribution there. I know they do a lot of philanthropy in other areas, but golf is very well known for its commitment to its communities and how we give back and how we try and share in all the wealth. And this is just a feel-good story. You can't feel bad. You got to root for her, and you got to root for the people in Houston and hope that they can rebuild their homes and to a certain extent rebuild their lives.
Just a proud moment for Stacey and her family and everybody else involved, and to give Houston something to smile about for right now, and the help that is pouring in throughout the world is throughout golf, and it's just a proud moment for all of us. I think that something like that, this story had that ending that we can all be, we can all smile about.
And nearly 400,000 all told will head to Houston. And Cookie, you said kind of the whole world coming together. Why not? Let's talk about what it does for Stacey. It's been a long time since she was able to win close so many times. Do you think this might help her kind of rejuvenate that career?
Yeah, I think so. Incredibly consistent. She won the Vera Trophy in 2013, 2014. Since that win, she's played 69 events. She's only missed one cut. She doesn't miss cuts. You saw her golf swing. It's beautiful. But what's happened since then is her game's fallen off a little bit, and then NB Park and Lydia Ko were absolutely amazing. As their games have fallen off, perhaps this will spur her on. She's got a few little problems around the green. She's not particularly good, but this confidence could go a long way.
Well, if you just look at the quality of shots she hit down the stretch, I mean, she was hitting shots on target. Distance control was great. Greens firmed up a little, so proximity to the hole wasn't great, but the way that she handled herself under the circumstance, it was in the back of her mind what she was trying to do, what she was trying to accomplish. You just look at that shot she hit on the 18th from the fairway bunker with water short and left. I mean, everything was waiting to go wrong, and she just held herself together, hit a beautiful shot, and took care of business.
Yeah, shot impressed me was on the par 3 15. That I've been there. That golf course is narrow. It's small targets, small greens. They do firm up. She hit a beautiful shot in there. I think that might have settled her down and said, okay, I've got a couple more holes, just hit some quality golf shots down the stretch. But you're right, that shot out of the fairway bunker at 18 was one that she will always remember.
Story of the day will be in the conversation for Story of the Year when it is all said and done. Of course, the PGA Tour and the FedEx Cup playoffs, it is a Friday through Monday finish. So no winner as of now. We head to TPC Boston for the third round of the Dell Technologies Championship, and it would be a familiar face, the leading candidate for the PGA Tour Player of the Year. Boy, he stepped on the gas.
Yes, he did. He started the day with a beautiful second shot into 1 to 6 feet, made birdie. Another birdie at 4, and another gorgeous iron shot, which he converted at 6. And this was just a flawless front 9. Hit every single green and then made the turn here.
Taking dead aim, this from 136 yards, and when this kid gets in the groove, he gets in a groove. Putting it, hitting it, driving it, amazing.
And it's incredible stuff. No bogeys in his last 40 holes. How's that for consistency?
That's some consistency, and he likes to see these putts go in on the controversial 500-yard par 4, number 12 from 49 feet. That helps.
He's made a ton of putts this week. 156 feet 5 inches of putts today, more than anyone in the round. They're going in from everywhere.
He was just getting warmed up. He was making it from everywhere. And on the day, well, he only missed 2 greens and gave himself a lot of looks.
It'll be interesting here. Remember, he caught fire Saturday. The third round of the U.S. Open, was unable to back that up in the final round. Look at all those 12 threes. Incredible, incredible stuff. 63 for Thomas. He is the subject of tonight's Titleist Tour Report with Heather Cox.
Justin Thomas, today you had 12 threes on your card, a FedEx Cup playoff record. So how were you able to attack the course in these rainy, wet conditions?
It was soft, so that definitely helped, and I drove it really well. So playing from the fairway, I was able to have a lot more control of my ball, and just kind of felt we got a good feeling for how short the ball was going compared to what it normally is. And I just tried to, we had a good game plan, just try to leave myself in good spots in the greens, and we were able to do so.
And at the same time, 8 birdies out there today. Was there a point on the course today where you thought, you know what, I think today might be pretty special?
Yeah, the front 9, I mean, shooting birdie in 9 there, going 4 under, then birdie in 10, going 5, especially not birdie in 7, the par 5 on the front. And I missed a couple other ones where I felt like I could have made, or in 2 I didn't birdie. But I was playing well, even the holes I wasn't birdieing, I had great looks, and I was really close. But once I made that up and down on 13 was big, and then the birdie on 14 was also a bonus. So and then 12 was obviously a bonus as well. So those were holes that just kind of got me through, and I felt like with 15 through 18 all being birdie holes that I could knock a couple more off.
And looking bigger picture at your week so far, just 1 bogey in 54 holes. That was on the first day, on the 5th hole. So what's been the key to staying out of trouble all week for you?
Just that was a 3-putt too, which I really hate, but it's just been smart, really, just trying to play smart, and that's something that Jimmy and I have really tried to get better at, because I feel like I'm good enough to where I should never miss cuts. I should always be around the lead. I should always be, top 10, 15 or so. And I think I was being a little too aggressive. I was being, I know the shots I can hit, but you're not playing amazing all the time. So when you're not, you need to play smart, and just, if I can't hit the green, get it on the correct side and try to get up and down. And that's what I've been doing this week.
Looking ahead to tomorrow, the weather conditions are supposed to improve. So what can you take away from today's excellent round to help carry that momentum into tomorrow?
I would say definitely the putter. I mean, I got it rolling today, which is something I haven't been able to do out here before. I've struggled on the greens, just being able to read them. So hoping I can, see the lines just as well tomorrow and try to give myself just as many chances.
Now, JT's been pretty good with the 54-hole lead. He's converted 3 out of 5, and he's 2 out of 3 this season. So we'll see how this transpires. A great leaderboard heading into Monday in Boston. He will head into that final group tied with this guy, Mark Leishman. And Leishman playing with Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau. It was Leishman running out in front of these guys.
Well, we were talking a lot about Justin Thomas and how perfect he is around the greens, 15 of 15. Well, at this point, Mark Leishman had not missed a green in regulation. So he was 14 of 14. Let's see how long this train will keep running. That is a long birdie putt.
52 feet. All of a sudden, he's 1 back. Leishman now at 15.
That's from the first cut of rough. Rainy, wet conditions today. Players having to make adjustments. Ball skipping, you see that? Does a nice job of using the bank just behind the hole. Brings it back just a little. Sets up this tiny little right to left look and see if it turns. Oh, gets it to go.
Won the Arnold Palmer Invitational earlier this year for his first win this season on the PGA Tour. He's never won twice in a season. He'll have that opportunity on Sunday. That may be the shot we remember. How did that not hit the tree?
Well, he hooked his drive to the left, actually knocked the wine out of some poor lady's hands just to get it back into the fairway. Look how close this is to hitting this tree. I mean, it is whiskers. Oof, whiskers close right there. But he did get it back into play.
And then he left his third shot short, inexplicably, from 100 yards. So his run of consecutive greens, at least for today, ended at 17. Won twice on the PGA Tour, one of those coming this year, but I think it's safe to say he's probably more famous for his close calls in major championships, playing so solid in some of the biggest events. 6th this year at the Open. A couple of years ago he lost in a playoff, but that could all change perhaps tomorrow.
It is a bogey-free 65 for Leishman. What's real interesting, he's never had a career 54-hole lead or co-lead, so this will be number 1. Will be interesting to see how he handles that dynamic, playing in the final group on a Monday with all the eyeballs on that final group at the Dell Technology Championship. Leishman in the final group spoke with our Heather Cox.
Mark with 6 birdies today, including 3 in a row at 13, 14, and 15. So how were you able to take advantage of this course today in such inclement weather?
I drove the ball pretty well. Felt like it's easier on days like today when you can play from the fairway, and then the putter was pretty hot for a while. So made the putts that you probably should make, and then made a couple of really long ones as well that sort of turned a pretty good round into a really good one.
You also had a bogey-free day after a combined 5 in the first 2 rounds. So in your mind, where was the improvement?
Driving. Especially, driving, irons were better. I think I only missed 1 green, and then, that's the key to bogey-free rounds, I feel like. And then, your long putts, if you can 2-putt them, you're not fighting, not having 6-footers for par, which I didn't really have any today, and managed to roll a couple of those long ones in that you're really generally happy to 2-putt.
Heading into the final round on Monday, what do you need from your game to get what you want out of that final round?
I need to drive the ball well and, keep holing putts like I have been. There's a lot of good players at the top of the leaderboard. Obviously need to play really well and, see where we end up.
A question coming in, what would these FedEx Cup playoffs do for an encore after the Northern Trust great finish with DJ and Spieth? Well, it's actually been better in Boston. Check out the leaderboard heading into a Monday finish. It is must-see television. We are on the air at 10 a.m. getting you set for our final round coverage, which begins at 11:30. As good as it gets, how about number 1 and number 2? Both Jordan Spieth and Dustin Johnson more than playing themselves back into contention. They are 2 of the favorites to come from behind and win on Monday. Back after this.
Golf Central is brought to you by the new Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Choose the best for your game. Bushnell Golf and the Pro X2 with enhanced slope switch technology.